Nike said, just do it. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Tech G back with another video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Nike and the Metaverse. So in case you guys are lost and confused out there, you haven't been paying attention to the news, you have this thing called the Metaverse that is kicking off that Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook is trying to create, where essentially you can teleport or put yourself into a virtual world of sorts where you can quote unquote live, work, and play in the form of an avatar, or you can even experience virtual-esque type technologies and objects in the real world by way of augmented reality. So I just did a video talking about this about a week ago that you guys can go check out, where you can actually see Mark Zuckerberg giving a presentation talking about his plans for transforming Facebook into the metaverse and what all this might mean for society and human connections moving forward. But moving forward beyond that, we have one of my favorite shoe companies by the name of Nike. And they say that they are trying to get into the metaverse as well. So let's check this story out. It says, first Facebook, now Nike. The apparel giant has taken its first steps into the metaverse. The Oregon-based company has filed several new trademarks this week that indicate its intent to make and sell virtual Nike branded sneakers and apparel. According to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Nike filed applications on October 27th for Nike, the brand's famous slogan, "Just Do It," and its swoosh logo. The following day, two more applications for the Air Jordan and Jumpman logos were filed. In total, 7 different applications have been submitted. So not only is Nike going to be selling shoes and apparel in the real world that a lot of us already pay way too much money for, including myself, because I am a fan of Nikes and Air Jordans, but now you are probably going to have the opportunity to pay way too much money for the digital version of your Air Jordans and Air Maxes in the virtual world, where your avatar can look fresh to death. It says Nike is protecting their trademarks for this new era. The company didn't immediately respond to requests for comment on its future plans. However, people familiar with its strategy said the space is a priority for the brand and consumers can expect to see more virtual rollouts in the months ahead. In addition to the trademark requests, Nike is also looking to staff up the space. It says, according to a search of Nike jobs, the company recently posted openings for a virtual material designer of footwear and other virtual design roles. The job listings posted on October 23rd said the role sits in the digital product creation group, a team focused on igniting the digital and virtual revolution at Nike. So I talked about this in my last video where we were talking about Facebook and the metaverse, how there is going to be a bunch of virtual jobs that are going to be created by this whole lane that Mark Zuckerberg and friends are trying to put together. And as you can see, Nike, they are trying to hire virtual material designers of footwear. I don't know exactly what that entails, but it just sounds like somebody who's getting paid to design virtual sneakers. Now, if you're an artsy type of dude or a woman out there, that sounds like a pretty cool job to have, where you can sit around and just think of all these fantastical sneaker designs to your heart's content. But I'm just wondering, are people really going to be paying ridiculous amounts of money for a quote unquote shoe that they cannot wear in reality? So, I don't know. It says the trademark filings would very clearly be a nod to this idea of the metaverse. They're filing new applications for the company's main trademarks, saying that they're going to launch and start selling virtual clothing, headwear, shoes, in online and virtual worlds. According to Gerben, the new trademarks also provide Nike extra protection in the event others attempt to use the brand in an unlicensed way. Now, I do think that is a smart thing to do. Not only do you want to protect your stuff in the real world, but I think it's very smart to try to protect your stuff in the virtual world so that some random person out there doesn't go out there and start selling virtual Jordans, virtual Air Maxes, and then Nike's not getting any cut of the money, even though they're using their virtual product of sorts with their logos and names affixed to it. So I don't see an issue with that part. It says if you want to police your trademarks in the world, it's going to be easier if you just own registration of virtual goods. Gerben said the trademark filings would also add value to the overall brand portfolio, as trademarks or a form of property. You can imagine the value that Nike's name and logo holds if you were just selling. So the more protection you build into your trademarks, arguably the more value you're adding to the book value of the company. It says this is not the brand's first foray into the virtual world. In May 2019, the Jordan brand partnered with Fortnite, where Nike characters wore Nike branded sneakers. Nike has also had several collaborations with online gaming platforms like Roblox. The company is still waiting on a patent filed in April 2019 for crypto kicks. The heck is that? Which Nike plans to use as a non-fungible token or an NFT. I just learned what this was the other day. I've been hearing people say NFTs all the time, but my understanding of what an NFT is, based off of the about 2 minutes worth of research that I did, is basically like a digital form of art that you can sell online, and somehow this thing is only linked to you, and you can, I don't know, man, it's kind of hard to describe, but it's just think of digital art that you can sell, that people will actually pay tens of thousands of dollars for a piece of digital art that they can't even physically touch, but I guess they can say that they own. It's kind of a weird thing, but apparently there's a lot of money moving around these NFTs to the point where I'm thinking about creating me some digital art and getting it out there on the market to see if I can get me a couple bucks too. It says, as Nike prepares for the virtual world, its physical world has most recently been impacted by supply chain issues. In its most recent earnings report on September 23rd, the company lowered its fiscal 2022 outlook to account for longer transit times, labor shortages, and prolonged production shutdowns in Vietnam. Nike shares are up 18% year to date, putting its market value at more than $265 billion. So we got supply chain issues causing issues with people getting their Nikes from the country of Vietnam where the shoes are manufactured. And that's obviously affecting the money here stateside, because we can't go out there and buy our kicks at the rate that we once were buying them prior to these supply chain issues. So I guess a way to get around that, or to try to keep more money flowing in, and maybe even at a higher rate, is go ahead and sell some digital Nikes, because with digital Nikes, you don't have to worry about supply chain issues. All you have to worry about is having somebody who knows how to design and code up a sneaker and put it into a virtual world and turn around and sell that thing for $200 a pop, even though the person who's buying it cannot actually put the virtual sneakers on their feet. Now, if they do find a way to do that, that will be great, but I highly doubt we'll ever get to that point in my lifetime. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to share this video with you all real quick to let you know that this metaverse thing is not just a popular subject to talk about for the time being, that you actually have real companies that are about to start investing real money into the metaverse. Nike is not just some random flyby company. They are probably the number one shoemaker in the world, if I'm not mistaken. And they're taking this thing seriously to the point where they want to file trademarks and all that other stuff to protect their Nike brand and their Jordan brand. So do not be surprised if you see other companies starting to do the same, who want to get their name and their logos into the virtual world. I wouldn't be surprised if you find out that McDonald's is out here filing trademarks to protect the golden arches in the digital world. This is going to be a thing, ladies and gentlemen. It may not be a thing in the immediate now, but I can see within the next 10, 15, maybe 20 years that this is actually a reality, where people will be putting on their virtual reality headsets, augmented reality glasses, or whatever the case may be. They are interacting in some form or fashion with the metaverse or whatever other offshoot may come about from this, and they will have the opportunity to go out there and make digital purchases of goods and services in the metaverse as if they were actually doing it in real life. So like I said in my last video, if you are thinking about getting into tech, or even if you're just trying to become an entrepreneur, this might be an opportunity for you to try to figure out how you can make some money in the metaverse or whatever other version of this thing is out there that will come to fruition in the future. Because like I said earlier, you have people like myself who are already willing to pay $100, $200 for a pair of Nike Jordans. There's going to be a whole other consumer base that is willing to pay that same price to maybe even higher for a digital pair of Air Force Ones or Jordans in the digital space, just so that their avatar or whatever digital equivalent of themselves is in the metaverse can look fresh to death. This is how technology is moving, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are not on the train, you're going to get left behind. And, I don't know what else to tell you now. Whether or not you think this is good or bad is neither here nor there. I'm just telling you, this is the direction things are going. And you can see companies like Nike, they are taking it seriously, and other companies will be jumping into this as well as the days and months and years progress. Anyways, I just wanted to share my 2 cents on this story. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also hit the like button and the share button and subscribe to this channel. With that, I will holler at you on the next video. Peace.